Hey everybody. So it's February 25th, 2022, and here in central New York we got a little bit of snowfall. So unfortunately, even though I was out practicing fly casting yesterday on grass, today that's not really going to happen. A little too windy and just a little too nasty out there for me. So instead, I've got a different project to work on today, and it is my Grizzly fiberglass powered bow, recurve, left-handed shot that I used to use quite a bit. As you can tell, it's in a little bit of rough shape. I believe it's still safe to shoot. I did put a new rug on it. And it's always had a little bit of like finish issues, but that doesn't appear to be structural. So today what we're going to do is we're going to string it with a handmade bowstring that my buddy got made for me, and go through a little bit of pressure testing and make sure it doesn't blow up in my hand before I put an arrow on it. Alright, so that's what we're doing. So, as always, I'm joined by my faithful sidekick, the Squish, who does everything with me, and unlike the actual hunting dog, is not gun shy and thinks that she should be chasing animals. So because there's a little bit of concern about this bow having issues, I don't see anything structurally wrong with it. Cotton ball test, fingers, can't find any delamination or anything. It's simply, like I said, just the finish. So anyway, I'm gonna throw on safety glasses just because. And so I do have a bow stringer somewhere. There's a proper way to string a recurve bow, and this isn't it. But this is how my father taught me to string a recurve when I was like, oof, I don't even know. I think I got my first recurve when I was like 7. So, you know, one of those yellow fiberglass deals that you got at Kmart. Came with like 3 arrows, and you thought that you were Robin Hood. So, yeah, good times. Alright, so, got the string on the bottom, step through with the other foot, make sure your string stays aligned on the outside of the limb. Hey, Squiglet, what are you doing? Okay, and then we're just gonna flex it back and pop the string on. Make sure it's aligned, make sure you're aligned, and then release your pressure. So, that's a good first step, right? Alright, so then the next step of the pressure testing, as I don't have a hanging scale, you're supposed to draw the bow back approximately 6 inches, repeatedly about 50 times, and just listen for any creaking, cracking, any sorts of sounds like that. And obviously, if you hear anything like that, cease and desist. So I'm just drawing the bow, 6 inches or so. That should be about 10-pound pressure, and that's 5. No issues, so I'm gonna keep going along and hit 50. Alright, so the remainder of our testing, I did my 50 draws at that 6 inch. No creaking or cracking sounds or anything. Previously I would have taken this bow to the local traditional archery shop, but a gentleman moved to Pennsylvania, well into his 80s, almost 90s, about around October, maybe September, and so now I'm kind of off on my own and stumbling through this as we go. But I got some work to do, and I'm looking forward to this journey. I've always loved traditional shooting, and I like the idea of not having to take all the wheels and cogs and everything to a shop to have somebody else put a string on my bow. Um, so as long as I can find good places to get resources and supplies, I'll just keep shooting a stick bow because that's fun. And got plans to kill anything I can with it this year. So uh, as we continue with the testing, um, the next step, gradually, we're going to continue with 25 pulls a piece, just drawing the string back an additional 6 inches. So I'm going to pull it back about 12 inches now, do that about 25 times, and then keep going until I've reached the draw length, my draw length, or the 45-ish pound limit. All right, so onward. So I had to go grab my shooting glove because the string gets to you after a couple of pulls. But let's see, we're up to our next 6-inch increment. So let's see. Everything sounds okay there. Everything feels okay. Feels just like the bow that I bought off eBay probably about 6 years ago now. So we'll continue with this draw length. Now we have our other helper in the room, Miss Ruby. Hi, Miss Ruby. The gun-shy hunting dog. Yeah, that's okay though. I still love it anyway. All right, everybody. Don't know what we're doing in here. So we've got a little construction going on in the other part of the house. But I just wanted to let you know that so far I made it just about to my full draw length. I measured with an arrow. Not exactly the safest thing, but I know that I'm not going to release and have an issue inside of the house. And I'm pointing at a dead wall, so. So I think the bow test has gone well so far. A great thing to do on a snowy, crappy, cold day. I think I'm pretty well ready for a firing test. I'm gonna hop online and see if I can find myself another bowstring. And I've got some other stuff to work on, like the string has no knock. Gonna look for a quiver and look for some more arrows because I'm using some Easton 1916 lights, the XX75 camo. And I'm not sure I'm going to be able to find these anymore. These were custom cut for me by Pete Palmer, the old timer. He told me I had a super short draw length, 28 inch. But, I'd like to have more than half a dozen. And if I'm going to be doing some serious hunting, obviously I need to have more than half a dozen. So, that's where we're at. And we'll pick up with you on our next adventure.